Entitled Rishabhadev's Appearance, Text 8. So the style of verse is quite difficult to chant and follow, so I'll just do once and then we'll do word for word. Atmana evanu savanam anjasya vyatikerena bhobu yamana shesha purushata sarupasya kintu nata shisha ashashana nameta abhisamradana matram bhavitum arhati. Please repeat. Atmanaha. Atmanaha. Self-sufficiently. Self-sufficiently. Eva. Eva. Certainly. Certainly. Anusavanam. Anusavanam. At every moment. At every moment. Anjasa. Anjasa. Directly. Directly. Avyatirekena. Avyatirekena. Without stopping. Without stopping. Bobuyamana. Increasing. Ashesha. Unlimitedly. Purushata. The goals of life. Swarupasya. Your actual identity. Kintu. But. Nata. O Lord. Ashesha. Benedictions for material enjoyment. Benedictions for material enjoyment. Asha Shananam. Asha Shananam. Of us who are always desiring. Who are always desiring. Etat. This. Abhishamradana. Forgetting your mercy. Forgetting your mercy. Matram. Matram. Only. Bhavitum arhati. Can be. Translation and purport by Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. All of life's goals and opulences are directly, self-sufficiently, unceasingly, and unlimitedly increasing in you at every moment. Indeed, you are unlimited enjoyment and blissful existence itself. As far as we are concerned, O Lord, we are always after material enjoyment. You do not need all these sacrificial arrangements, but they are meant for us so that we may be benedicted by your Lordship. All these sacrifices are performed for our fruitive results, and they are not actually needed by you. Purport. Being self-sufficient, the Supreme Lord does not need huge sacrifices. Fruitive activity for a more opulent life is for those who desire such material opulence for their interest. Yageta kamanonya tralokoyam kama bandana. If we do not act to satisfy the Supreme Lord, we engage in Maya's activities. We may construct a gorgeous temple and spend thousands of dollars, but such a temple is not required by the Lord. The Lord has many millions of temples for his residence, and he does not need our attempt. He does not require opulent activity at all. Such engagement is meant for our benefit. If we engage our money in constructing a gorgeous temple, we are freed from the reactions of our endeavors. This is for our benefit. In addition, if we attempt to do something nice for the Supreme Lord, he is pleased with us and gives us his benediction. In conclusion, the gorgeous arrangements are not for the Lord's sake, but for our own. If we somehow or other receive blessings and benedictions from the Lord, our consciousness can be purified and we can become eligible to return home back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Dhyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishavanu Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachanam Pangum Langaite Girim Yad Kripatamam Bande Shigurum Dinatarnam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 3rd chapter. Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 3rd chapter. Rishabhadev's appearance. Text number 8. Translation. All of life's goals and opulences are directly, self-sufficiently, unceasingly, and unlimitedly increasing in you at every moment. Indeed, you are unlimited enjoyment and blissful existence itself. As far as we are concerned, O Lord, we are always after material enjoyment. You do not need all these sacrificial engagements, but they are meant for us so that we may be benedicted by your Lordship. All these sacrifices are performed for our fruitive results, and they are not actually needed by you. We are preparing to welcome Lord Rishabhadev, who is an incarnation of the personality of Godhead, and his appearance is auspicious for the world because the Lord comes to protect the devotees especially. He also comes to establish the principles of Dharma Samstapanataya. And for this the Lord comes at different times with a particular mission and a vision to uplift the world. So King Nabi had you could say superficially has impregnated his wife Mary Devi. I say superficially because then the Lord is not a product of the mixing of the secretions of a human being, but for his pastimes he accepts parents so that he can perform his activities in the human society. So the Brahmanas are performing yagya. Yagya is meant to please Vishnu. But they are confessing that the Lord does not need anything. He is self-sufficient. So all the opulences that they are presenting before him are not in any way needed by him. That he already is unlimitedly, unceasingly self-sufficient. So you can try to imagine trying to please someone who does not need anything. You come bearing gifts to give someone who doesn't care for any gifts. How can you, for lack of a better word, suck up to such a person? In this world, we are caught up because we want something, we need something. That's why even the business world means to make a profit, you have to see where is there a need for a particular product. So you create some demand for a product and then you can get customers and make money. But if people don't want your product, don't need your product, you're definitely not going to sell much. So they are confessing that actually this performance of yagya is meant to benefit us. It's not that we are benefiting the Lord. Sometimes the devotees may feel like that, Krishna, I've been offering puja to you and I'm not getting the result that I'm looking for. I will stop offering all this incense and ghee lamps. As if Krishna will struggle without our offerings. Srila Prabhupada would say like that Krishna is not hungry for our chapatis and whatever it is that we are offering. But Krishna is giving us an opportunity to purify ourselves by offering to him and by remembering him and ultimately honoring what has been blessed by him. So this is the subject matter of the 3rd chapter. Srila Prabhupada quotes in the purport, Yagyata Kamanunyatra Lokoyam Kama Bandhana. That work has to be performed. That work has to be performed for the satisfaction of Vishnu. Otherwise, karma or work in this world causes bondage. So it is the duty of the Brahminical class, and indeed everyone, to act for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu. This word yagya, it first appears there in the 3rd chapter, 9th verse. Sacrifice. So what will be the mood of the sacrifice? This is discussed in the 9th chapter. Yat karosi yadasnasi, yat jihosi dadasi, yat tapasi sikonteya, tat kuruso madapana. That whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever tapasya you perform, you should do that as a matter of pleasing me, as an offering to me. And by such activity, one becomes purified. We must do some activity. No one can remain without any activity. Even for a moment, Krishna says. And people say, well, over the weekend I just sit on my couch and not do anything. But the mind is always also moving, thinking this is some activity. So what is really to be offered if Krishna does not want Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam? It seems that he has suggested, offer me a leaf, flower, water, fruit, I will accept. But it is not the fruits, the leaves, the water, the flower that he's looking for, but it is the bhakti, the devotion with which it is being offered. That Krishna will appreciate. He consumes things that are spiritual. Like he says, Bhajante mam priti puvakam, that one should worship him with priti, with love. So he is interested in our mood of service. And when the devotee has abandoned all desires for personal gain and acts simply for the benefit of Krishna, without any motive, that Krishna notices. Oh, you have put yourself out of the equation, and you have put me fully at the center of your existence. Savaipum sam parodamo yato bhakti adokshaji. Ahaituki apratiyata yayadma suprasidati. That devotion which is ahaituki, without hetu, motivation. That's a difficult platform to act without any motivation. Because primarily we are always thinking, what is in it for me? If I will do something, what will I get? And the Shastras, to motivate us in this condition, may have so many goals and fruits to achieve. Therefore people become motivated, okay? It is Bhadra Purnima. If I offer Srimad Bhagavatam to somebody, then the gates of Vaikuntha will open for me. So today, many a preacher will have a microphone to inspire the congregation. Dear devotees, today is Bhadra Purnima. If you can sponsor Bhagavatam, or you can get yourself a set of Bhagavatam, if you distribute it today, if you gift it today, then you will get such and such benefits. And naturally people are devotees, okay, yeah, sounds like a good investment. Just buy one Srimad Bhagavatam today and I distribute it, and the job is done. Vaikuntha is mine. Is this a motivation? Yes. It's a motivation for the highest good, the best motivation. So it is encouraged. To do something which is good is always good. Even if one imitates those who actually want to go back to Godhead. Imitation of a good thing is good. But one should not then think by imitation that one is actually situated on the right platform. One requires the necessary purification of heart to come to the platform of pure devotional service. But activity which is unmotivated by fruitive results, the gain that will come from my activity, it is counterintuitive on the material platform to act without thinking about the fruit. But how is that possible, to act without thinking of the fruit? That's the platform of love. On the platform of love, prema, then the desire of the devotee is the pleasure of the beloved, is the pleasure of Krishna. They're consumed by the feelings of Krishna. And their motivation is to please him. And because Krishna is the transcendental personality, there is no karma involved in activity connected to him. It is transcendental. It is non-reactionary. So that's why Krishna also in the Gita tells Arjuna, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhava Arjuna, that Arjuna rise from the platform of the three modes of material nature. Niyoga Kshema, Be situated in yoga. And then you will know the Atma. You will transcend these modes of nature. Because everything Krishna is saying, the Vedas are generally concerned with the 3 modes of material nature. They are discussing things within this universe. Naturally, we are living in this universe of the 3 modes. So the Vedas are trying to inspire us to rise. So you will find, whether it's Puranas, that some are in the mode of ignorance, some are in passion, some are in goodness. Just to elevate the conditioned souls, give them the activities of Dharma that are suitable to their modes. Just like this situation of non-veg. In India, it's understood it's so bad to eat meat that they don't even pronounce that, can I beef or this or the other. Instead, they just say non-veg. The veg you can say out loud. But to actually say the flesh of goat, so it's not even in the vocab. But you'll find that in the Shastras, it will be explained how to consume, how to sacrifice whatever animals. So that when they follow the sacrificial process, yagya, then yagya will purify. What is the yagya of the animal sacrifices? Is said that the person who will kill this animal will have to chant in its ear something to the effect that now I am killing you, but I give you the permission to kill me in your next life. So the idea is that by repeating such a mantra, every time you have to kill and eat, then something will dawn in the consciousness that I have given X amount of living beings the authority to do the same to me in a previous life. I'm getting into trouble here. How many times will I have to be killed by all these living beings that I am taking their bodies from? So some purification takes place. But those who are just simply killing in some abattoir for the sake of making profit, they are simply condemned more and more. So we find that all the activities which generally are for sense gratification have a platform of purification in the system of an ashram. When we think of sense enjoyment, sense gratification, when we are getting initiated, it's as if we're being blocked from the main pillars of sense enjoyment. No gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no meat, fish or eggs. That is like death on the material platform. People hear that and they think, what's the goal of living? Definitely this must be a cult that can get a sane person to give up life's joys. However, unbeknownst to the living being, that when it's not sanctioned by the Lord, any activity will bind them on the material platform. So this enjoyment is actually suffering. It's not advertised like that. Come and suffer at this casino. Come and suffer at this restaurant. Suffering for 10 euros. No, they don't advertise like this because There will be purification of consciousness for some. When they hear the truth, that actually this is not enjoyment, this is suffering. It starts off as enjoyment, but every living being is condemned to a life of always being in the brink of the future. So they say live for the moment, but every moment is always moving away. So the present, or living for the moment, is always moving into the past. And if we're acting in the present unlawfully, then we're certainly creating a future of punishment. The converse is that we act in the present in the mood of sacrifice. Although it will taste good, although it looks good, although it will be pleasurable, let me not indulge and sacrifice the spirit of enjoyment for the pleasure of Krishna. Then we create a positive future spiritually. So sacrifice, even on the material plane, by all sorts of motivational gurus or self-help books. This principle is understood, that if you want to succeed materially, then you have to sacrifice sleep, friends, partying, whatever it may be that you consider pleasurable in the short term. You'll have to cut it down or regulate it so strictly so that your energy is conserved on executing the goals, on planting the seeds for reaping the fruit in the future. Therefore, you study the life of any successful person on the material plane, you'll find that they had to forego many of life's so-called pleasures. Even the athletes, they all know to have peak performance, they also follow celibacy to conserve some energy, to focus their mind, to tap into the energies of the body at maximum capacity. That means you cannot be losing energy in sense gratification and thinking that you will have energy for being productive or performing at peak levels. So it's a matter of where is the consciousness being focused. So the real yagya is to offer our consciousness to Krishna. So Prabhupada didn't hide the secret of success. He named the movement Krishna Consciousness. If you were wondering, what's this whole movement about? We put it right there, Krishna Consciousness. Instead of allowing our consciousness to be dragged this way or that way by the sense objects with the spirit of enjoying them, then we see everything as bhoga to be offered to Krishna. So bhakti also gives great scope for engagement, in that everything is seen as paraphernalia for serving Krishna. One who sees me everywhere, sees everything in me, I am never lost to him, he is never lost to me. So to be able to see Krishna everywhere and in everything, there must be affection for Krishna. You know, when you are in love, you know, normal, mature, in love, wherever someone goes, they tend to see, oh, that's, my kid would love that, oh, my husband would love that, or my wife would love that. They're always thinking of what things they could gather to bring home to those that they love that would make them happy. Even at the office, the big CEO, man or woman, on their desk they have a picture of who? Because the Hare Krishna, there's also maybe, Radha Krishna there. But in general, there's the family. You go into anyone's purse or wallet, you'll find even some smaller picture there also, wife and kids. Later on in life, you may not find wife or husband, but you may find the picture of the kid. So those whom we have affection for, we are always conscious of their welfare. We are always thinking how to show them that we love them. So the process of Krishna consciousness is building capacity within us to see everything and to see it with the mood of how can I offer this to Krishna. And those who have developed Krishna consciousness, prema, they simply desire the happiness of Krishna. Means everything they see, everything they experience reminds them of Krishna. In the Nectar of Devotion, some descriptions of the qualities of one in Krishna prema. Under remembrance, it is discussed, one Gopi saying about Srimati Radharani, that upon seeing the bluish storm cloud, Srimati Radharani immediately is anxious and thinking, where is Krishna now? And is telling her friends that we should not miss a moment, otherwise we'll be late for meeting Krishna. So everything then reminds them of the beloved, becomes an udipan, or an impetus for performing devotional service. And the Purport Prabhupada talks about even construction of gorgeous temples. So externally it may seem like that, look, I'm collecting so much money here, I want to build this beautiful temple. But consider, I want to build this temple. And I want it to be the most beautiful in all of planet Earth, maybe, or wherever you are. So, superficially, to build a temple is really very nice, wonderful, what a devotee. But Srila Prabhupada is probing deeper that we may construct a gorgeous temple and spend thousands of dollars. But we should not think, he says, but such a temple is not required by the Lord. So we may consider that, oh, I'm making the temple for Krishna. Krishna needs a nice temple. So his point is that he does not require whatever opulence that you are presenting. Krishna doesn't need it, he's self-sufficient. He is the master of all opulences. But what is going on there is that when you offer something that you value, that opulence or these dollars, we personally value them. When we offer them for Krishna's service, then we become purified of our attachment to this material opulence. And the benefit is that we become attached to Krishna. How? Someone leaves their money in this donation box regularly, not once a year. Every week you come and put money in the hundi. Then certainly, at least you will remember where that hundi is at the Zurich temple. You may remember in front of who that hundi is, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Gauranitai. But because we are attached to our money, generally it's hard-earned money, then our consciousness also will follow where our money has gone. Hey, I'm giving X amount of money to this. I wonder if it's actually being used for whatever it's been given. Maybe I must go in, if it's for Raj Boga or for cloth of the deity, I should go see, what outfits are they getting for Jhana. I should go and see if actually they're serving very nice prasadam when I'm giving money for prasadam. So where our attachment is, then our consciousness flows in that direction. So if what we are attached to is now being offered to Krishna, then we also are directed towards thought of Krishna. So it's a whole culture of redirecting facilities with money, resources like this, redirecting our senses, redirecting our mind, our time, and then our activities are dovetailed. So this is Srila Rupa Goswami's teaching. Anashaktasya Vishayan Yataham Upayunjita Nibanda Krishna Sambanda Yuktam Varagya Uchite. So this nirvana is needed. Some sort of detachment, some sort of vairagya, renunciation. But what kind of detachment? What kind of renunciation? If we renounce things without seeing their connection to Krishna, Krishna says, Bhaktaramya Ketapasam, Savaloka Maheshwara. So everything is already his. And he is meant to be the enjoyer of all the yagyas and the sacrifices. That he's the owner of everything. If we don't see that everything already belongs to him, then we may give up or find ourselves feeling there is no use of this, there's no use of that, without understanding that everything can be used in service of Krishna. So this yukta vairagya, again yukta, some yoga has to be there. The detachment is from the spirit of personal sense enjoyment and establishing the mood of service, service, service. Sacrifice. We're sacrificing everything at the altar of Krishna consciousness. And this is how back to home, back to Godhead comes about. One will become eligible to go back to the realm where everything is for the pleasure of Krishna, when one has become practiced to see the welfare of Krishna in everything and to offer indeed one's own consciousness, Atmanivedana, and one's own self to Krishna. So for that, it is a gradual process which requires focus under the discipline of able devotees, the spiritual master, and positive transcendental association of the devotees. And so such occasions like Bhadra Purnima, Bhadra means auspicious. We heard that in the heart, our Bhadrani, there is inauspiciousness in the heart. And by performance of those activities that are auspicious, then Subhadra, great auspiciousness occurs. And this type of auspiciousness means spiritual benefit. The Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that when Krishna departed this world, then all good things followed him. They are his servants. Jnana, Dhamma, Divisaha. Real knowledge, religious principles become lost. But Krishna has left Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, in this dark age of Kali, will give the vision. It will give us the vision, because we are affected by the darkness of Kali Yuga. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam is none different from the personality of Godhead. So gifting Srimad Bhagavatam, worshipping Srimad Bhagavatam is direct worship of Krishna. Whether we worship and gift Srimad Bhagavatam because we are desirous of some fruit, we still get benefited. Because Krishna and contact with Krishna only yields Krishna consciousness. So we should be greedy for such endeavors. We should have high motivation to get the fruits of Bhadra Purnima. So it's not just a day of marketing the sales of Srimad Bhagavatam, because that can be seen. Okay, so today now the temple president we got the whole temple with Bhagavatams. You know, it gets nicely decorated, right? Instead of festoons, Bhagavatams, some slokas. I know in South Africa today there's one devotee there who is Bhadra Purnima extraordinaire. Throughout the year he was still getting SMS. That's just his service. That whole week is his life. He's got some cans, you know, draped with verse, the 12th canto verse about distributing Bhagavatam and throning it. And he gives out these cans that throughout the year you should put money in there. So that when comes the day of Bhagavatam, no one has an excuse, we don't have money to buy Bhagavatam. So it's a plug. We give out these cans. So the devotees are meditating on the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is establishing reality from illusion. It is uprooting the threefold measures of everything. And therefore it said, by the culture of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, then one can achieve the goal of Krishna consciousness. Therefore it's the form of the best form of religion. We're looking for blessings and benedictions. This is how we build up our eligibility in spiritual life. So this idea of being mercy cases, we're always looking to get some benediction, some blessing. That is where our greed and our ambition should be applied. Greedy for the mercy, greedy for the blessings, greedy for the service of Krishna, contact with Krishna. And that is how purification will take place. Therefore, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Every day we sit and sometimes subject ourselves to hearing. You are here, you may be wanting to do something else, but here you are, victims of hearing. But this is the best form of victimizing yourself through sound. Hear something in relation to Krishna, and there's some benefit. So we read again the verse, all of life's goals and opulences are directly, self-sufficiently, unceasingly, and unlimitedly increasing in you at every moment. Indeed, you are unlimited enjoyment and blissful existence itself. As far as we are concerned, O Lord, we are always after material enjoyment. We do not need all these sacrificial arrangements, but they are meant for us, so that we may be benedicted by your Lordship. All these sacrifices are performed for our fruitive results, and they are not actually needed by you. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
It is your turn to say something. Speak now or forever hold your peace. You know that moment, and then there's a bit of a heartbeat there. There's the who may protest at the wedding. If anyone has a problem with this unity of these two, speak now or forever hold your peace. A few people, they have some things they may say, just like all of you here. I could say this, but maybe let me not say it. Thank you for your time, dear devotees. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
God Premanandi.
Praise Savyasaci ki Jai.
To sense enjoyment. So true. We just want to enjoy. What we are doing is yaga. It's an honest prayer, you know. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda Shri Shivasiti Gaur. Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Simon, you? You like it, eh? Or it's like
what is it?
it's lemongrass.
But what, like perfume?
No, something oil.
Okay. Yeah, we can take something together.
Yes,
Forever.
Forever and ever. The speaker's off now, okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Wow. He told him he can keep, he told me he can keep that one. It's so strange. What? So marriage, this is one of his grandfathers. He was going to apply for a visa for it's helping him. So you need to show money in your account. So he had spoken to him when he sent £500. So keeping his account